Hey everyone, welcome back to Rhythm Railroad. This is update number 31 of my HO scale layout. And this update is going to be just a walk around. I'm not going to run any trains or even turn the layout on for that matter. So I am going to show you the new things that I'm working on and some of the things that I'm just mocking up just to see how they'll look once they're fixed. And just some ideas that I've had. A few little alterations to the track work. Not that major, but I wanted to share it with you. So we're going to start here. This is the second level of the what I call the third quadrant. So this is number 3, that's number 2, and number 1's the one on the other side of this wall. And basically what I'm trying to do here is create like a little town scene, because I don't have that, and I've always wanted a little town type scene. And I don't have to make it like a huge scene. I just want to give a hint of a modern looking town. And of course, every modern town has what? A Starbucks, like in every corner, which is ridiculous. But I figured if I'm gonna model a modern scene, this is what you have to have. You have to have a Starbucks. I try not to go there very often for many reasons, but mostly because of the price of the coffee. And $7 coffees is ridiculous. But anyways, with that said, I do have one, and this kit is awesome. This is by Summit. It's a little pricey, but it's definitely worth it because the details are really good and it comes together really well. I mean, you have to be careful with some parts, are very delicate, but it comes together really well. And some of the material is stick-on, like a 3M type tape, which is very strong. So I know it'll stay there, but it's a different approach than using glue, where you don't have that much room for error, because once that stuff sticks, it's really hard to take it off without ripping the actual material apart and damaging the parts. So anyways, the idea here is that I want to have a photo backdrop in the back to pull the scene out, to make it seem deeper. So I got this from Scenic King, which I think he's based in Canada. It's good. It's good stuff. I like what he has available. The only thing I don't like is the quality of the paper. It's a little on the thin side. So I haven't tried gluing it yet, but typically when I've tried to glue thin paper, it tends to bubble up a little bit, or a rip or a wrinkle or whatever. So I got to be careful with this. But I do like that this is low profile. It's easy to cut out the sky, which I did, obviously. And you still have some greenery in it. In this case, it's nice because it ties into what would be all the trees that are going to go up here on the hill. But yeah, the backdrop pulls the scene out. It kind of like makes it feel bigger than it really is. And so what I'm trying to have physically here on the scene is basically just maybe 2 or 3 little shops here. So maybe I'll probably move this over a little bit, but I want to have like the Starbucks. Obviously, I want to have a small gas station, and maybe like a little like a little fast food place or whatever. So I think those 3 will give the impression that it's a bigger town. And then obviously this would be like the main road that goes across. I like it like this on an angle because it kind of, it makes everything look less perfect. I've been trying to avoid, and I know it's difficult with this scale, but I'm trying to avoid in such a small area to have everything parallel, because then that's not realistically, things usually don't end up that way in real life. So by making this road slightly angled, it also allows me to angle the building a little bit, which then kind of goes against the track angle. And even though it's a slight little thing, it really does make a difference at the end, in my opinion, anyway. So yeah, 1, 2, 3 little shops here. I'll have a crossing. The road's going to come up because they did want to make the track work higher. As you can see there, it's nice and high. There'll be parking lots behind the areas here, or like I'll probably do a drive-through behind there. There is a drive-through window actually in the kit on the back. And I'll probably make the parking on the sides. I'll probably make the gas station in this area here, and then whatever fast food place over there. And like I said, the whole thing's going to shift over anyway. So the road will come up slightly, it'll go over, and then I might put one last thing over there, like a used car dealer shop or something, just to kind of, hide that corner. And then what I want to do over here on the back side of the track is have a row of houses. But what I want to do is make it so that it's the back of the houses. So the backyards would be, against the track. I'll put a little fence up right around here, like a backyard fence type thing, either picket fence or one of those plastic vinyl fences or whatever. I'll probably mix it up anyway, because that's usually how it goes. People pick their own style of fencing in the back of their house, so it changes from house to house. And then obviously it'll go up to the road, and that'll be the end, the end. But I'm gonna have to probably use only half of the kits, of the house kits, because I'll be going up against the backdrop. Since I don't have a lot of room, I have some room. I don't have a lot to get a full house in there without being right up against the track. So I do want to leave a little space there, and I'll go up to here. Maybe this house will be a little bit on an angle. Maybe this one I can have a full house here. I don't know. Figure it out. But that's the idea. I'm leaving this area open because I might, and this is a big might, put another turnout here for the siding, so that I can have a yard lead that goes up to there. So that's pretty long, in order to do any shoving or switching here in this yard. So, the idea is that I don't want to have to block the main while I'm doing any kind of switching. So if the train comes in on the siding, rather than going into the main to do the work, it'll just go into the lead, do whatever it needs to do, and trains can keep going on the main. Then they can back up and get back on the main. I might even, no, I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna say I might even put another switch over there to just exit that way, but it's gonna be in the way of the road, and then it's gonna be on a curve. It's just, there's a lot to work out in order to do that. So I'll just do it the way I described, most likely. This scene here was originally supposed to be a river scene, but I have a river scene down here, and I didn't want to be like river scene. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make this an underpass for traffic. So there's gonna be a wide road here. And then obviously the bridge will be, I don't know what you call those, but a girder bridge, I guess. The ones with the side panels. For the double tracks that are coming across here. And then, the scene will basically just be like a drop in the scenery here like this, but it's kind of like this, but I'll go a little further in. And then it'll just be a road, and I'll probably put like either a mirror back there or something to make it look like it just continues. And then the scenery in here, I'll probably put like some kind of structure here, some kind of structure here. So it looks like the road comes back up eventually. To make that look like it follows through. I just don't have a lot of room to work with here. It's just that little like 1 foot section. And I don't want to add back there because of the closet that I have back here. I left that space open intentionally so I can get in there and not be bumping into things while I'm working on the panel or whatever. In fact, the cable guy's coming today to replace that modem, which is shot. So we're down. We're down with the internet right now. He'll be here in a little while. Okay, so moving along here, I did want to jump up to the third level for a minute here. This I think I showed on the last layout update. It's a transition so that it doesn't take away from the scene down here. What I did is I just extended the sky, so the scene actually starts here on the third level. But what I decided to do, sometimes this stretch is so long. It's so long. It's all single track, all the way to the window there. That's where it actually splits into the Plattsburgh yard. So I figured I have so much room here. Why not make a siding here so that any traffic coming north, right? This is northbound, could either take the siding and have the other train pass through, or I can store 2 trains up here while the yard, which has 3 tracks on the yard, can empty out, and then these can follow in. That would definitely help with operation sessions, because sometimes it gets a little clogged. Since I have more tracks on the southern staging, on the south staging, we're sending more trains up than we're sending down sometimes. So I think this will help as the trains come up to hold trains here while I send trains down. And so I actually started it. I put the turnout in there, and then it's not ideal because the main line is actually on the diverging track. And then I kept the straight track here for what's going to be the siding. So it's going to come out a little bit more. I don't want to hug it so hard against that curve, so it's going to come out a little bit more. And I'm going to add more homosode here. That's why I put this piece of wood here, so the track can be more, further away. It'll probably sit more like this. Something like that. And then when I add the homosode here, this seam's all going to come out up to like around here somewhere. Then I can continue over this bridge, which I'm still playing around with to see how I can make it better. But then I added the homosode here. I just ran out at this point. That's why I added this little piece, this little thin piece was left over. But I'll take that out eventually and just put a regular piece. But I did add the track work, as you can see here. I put a little stopper there so in case I put any trains there, they don't go rolling off the track. And that goes all the way. The siding is very, very long. It goes all the way to here where it meets the main line again. And I already installed the tortoise. Everything mechanically works. It's not hooked up to any electricity yet. So I got to power it up and feed the frog, out of the frog wires and all that stuff, and the switches. And then this is the signal I'm going to be using here. It's gonna, it's gonna be a cantilever thing, so it'll go over the tracks at this point here. I didn't want to make it a single post here or signal, because it's really close to the edge, and I don't want anybody like clipping into it and popping it off. So either way, I'm going to put a plexiglass right here. But if I have that signal anyway, I figured I might as well use it. And it's nice and tall so you can see it rather than having to look in when it's so high up. So that's the idea. And then obviously this is I already built the outside here. So this still gives me a little bit of room to build scenery on the outside. The plexiglass is going to continue up until about here. And then I'll start coming out with the scenery more here. And then all that stuff is going to be extended with foam, which I already have the pieces cut out. 2-inch foam, and it's going to come out about 3 inches or so. It'll be like around here somewhere. For trees and whatever hills that I had there before. So yeah, so that's the idea here. And like I said, it's going to definitely help with operating sessions to get settled. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is originally when I built this section and I added the block detection, I had a bug. Something happened. I don't know what. I still can't figure it out. I don't know what happened, but it always showed occupied in this entire section. And trust me, I tried everything you can imagine to make it not occupied, to make it look like it wasn't occupied to the computer, but it just was not having it. Something with the wiring, or maybe it's too long of a run, or maybe not enough feeders, I don't know. But it just wasn't working. But by adding the siding, now I need not just one block, I need one block over there for the exit point, 2, 3 for the 2 tracks here, and then 4 here. So I actually hooked this one up already. This is a new wire here for this section here. So this section goes from the turnout all the way to the junction point over there on the other side. So that's its own block. And that's working perfectly. But then what ended up happening is because I had to isolate these two tracks from the rest of the block detection wire that goes all the way through, it actually, I guess it like freed it up or something, because now that's actually working the right way now. So the block that was all of that length is now only from here at the end of this turnout here to the yard, which starts at the window. So maybe because now it's a shorter run, it's I don't know, it's helping. I have no idea why that's happening, but it works, so I'm not even gonna complain about it. So yeah, so I have to run 2 more wires for the 2 tracks that are gonna be here. And that'll be 2 separate blocks, obviously. I already added that to the JMRI panel, so it's virtually there. It's just not physically there yet. And hopefully all the hardware will talk to it and do it the right way. All right, so we're gonna move on. So we'll go back to the second level here. I think on the last layout update, I mentioned that I wanted to ease up this curve here. This is very tight coming into the yard. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this turnout out and replace it with a curved turnout. That's gonna give me a less of a sharp angle coming off the main line. And then I'm gonna move this turnout back to here before, you know, the hill comes down. So that I have a smoother transition between the curved turnout and the entrance of the yard. So that should ease up this angle here, which, I mean, I guess the trains are running fine through it, but when I have very long cars like auto racks and stuff, they want to jump the track. I guess the couplers pull too hard and they push it right off the tracks. But the yard is working great. I have no issues with that. And then over here in this corner, this is another Scenic King backdrop, which I ordered at the same time as the other ones. And I like the way this looks here, because this looks, you know, quasi-industrial, since there's a yard here and stuff, but you can still see that there's like a hill, and there's like, you know, a church up there and other buildings and apartment buildings and stuff. So, you know, I like the way that looks, generally speaking. The only thing I don't like is the cars that are shoved in the back there. First of all, they look a little big, but I'll probably put a tree or something in front of that, or some other kind of structure to block that. That's the only thing that was a little bit awkward. But again, I like the way that the trees continue here, because then I could, you know, start kind of like fading in with the tree line. And then maybe I'll get another one similar to this, to that here, once I have the masonite up. So that's where we are with that. I don't know if I'm going to keep that rock there, but I just figured I'd throw it up there just to see what it looks like. It doesn't look bad. But I got to obviously blend it in. So nothing really is happening beyond that. And then down here, this was clean at some point, but now it's become like the benchmark for all the work that I'm doing up there. So I have all my glue and tracks, and it's a mess again. So this always happens where you start working on a section and you make another section fall apart, and, you know, I guess it's a balancing act all the time. I'm not worried about it though. We'll eventually put it back together. All right, so we're gonna jump over to this side now. And the biggest thing here that's happening is the Schenectady scene, which again, Scenic King backdrop, but this time I didn't cut the sky out, because you have a scene that is actually exactly like the way that it came is exactly the same height as what my backdrop is. So right now it's just mocked up there with tape. And so I'm gonna leave the sky on it, and I'm just gonna obviously straighten it out. And the other thing with this company is that they don't give you a self-adhesive paper, so you have to use the glue, the spray glue. And I might have to practice a little bit with other smaller sections before I start getting into this, because it's a lot of paper to put up there with the spray and the, you know, getting it straight and making sure there's no bubbles and all that stuff. So and plus it's a little awkward because it's far away from from here, so I have to like lean in, especially for the corners. So, you know, I know there's tricks and things to make that easier, which I will be using, but I'm just trying to live with it for a little bit so I can kind of start feeling a little less nervous about it, and then I'll you know, permanently place it. The good thing is that I have a little bit of playroom on either side, so I'm not going to actually go right to the edge like it is right here. I'm actually going to move it over a little bit, because eventually there's going to be a tall structure there and a tall structure over there, which will hide the ends of the scene. So this way, if something happens and it's not quite perfect, you know, I don't have to worry about cutting any paper at the end there or whatever. So the center line is actually going to be a little bit further over, but only about, you know, an inch or two. But either way, I love the way it looks, because that, I mean, that really pulls the scene in, so that it looks like it's really far away over there, and then the scene, you know, looks a lot better in my opinion. This is obviously going to be the intermodal yard here. There's going to be 2 tracks. This is all going to be intermodal, and the, you know, the open area back here is going to be for the actual trucks to come through and switch out the containers and all that stuff before they, you know, they exit. I'm going to make another tunnel here. Sorry, right here, so that that would be the way the trucks come in to access this area here. Because obviously there's a cliff here, and there's going to be a fence here eventually to separate, you know, one area from the other. And I'll probably have 2 of those crane type things. There's machines that pick up the container and, you know, move it over to the next track or to the truck. I already have one. I haven't put it together yet, but I'll probably get one more, and those will be the 2 machines that will be in charge of this section of track here. And then obviously the main line's in the back there. So the only thing I haven't decided yet is whether I should make a wall, which will probably be the best way, you know, a straight wall coming down from that upper main line, or if I should make it more like a hill like this. But if I make it a hill, I'm just encroaching into this area here. So I think it's better to just use a vertical wall there and then somehow tie it in over here. You know, I'll figure it out. This was a little dumb on my part, but when I made the support, I braced it by doing this kind of thing. So now it's kind of like in the way of everything. So I might be able to somehow modify it and cut it shorter, but we'll see. Yeah, so that's basically what's happening here. While I'm here, let me just show you the 3 new locomotives that just came in, which I ordered like a year and a half ago from Athern. But of course, you know, things come in when you least want them, you know, financially. So these 3 are beautiful SD 70 ACUs. And my favorite one is this Canadian Pacific here, 7022. It's just, they did a really nice job with that. The NS they're all basically the same model. It's just slight variations on the handrails and things like that. And then the Canadian Pacific Heritage looks awesome as well, number 7010. But you know, I'll make more videos about those 3 locomotives in more detail while they're running. Okay, so now we're gonna move on. Nothing new here that I can remember. And then we're gonna go over to the other side, this first quadrant here. And the one big thing that I've been working on here is the engine facility. So obviously the lead tracks are not that different, but I did get the locomotive facility building, I would say 80% done. And it's functioning, so everything works. The lights, I have a little fader here, so you can turn the lights on. Oh, I guess we're not plugged in. Hold on, let me plug that in.